Hey guys, Spaghetti Monster here, coming at you with an intro to Sivir. Some items you want to buy on Sivir will be Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer's good, and then if you got to feel out the game whether you need Life Steal or Dominic's Regards, or if you ever one Mortal Reminder, and it's pretty much like your full build right there, along with Berserker Greaves. She's Berserker Greaves champion. I like Sivir, but I don't play her as much as I probably should. But her kit's pretty unique. It's pretty cool. She has a lot of good spells for outplaying people. Her passive is Fleet of Foot, and basically what that means is that whenever she hits somebody with a spell or auto attack, she gets some move speed. So she's really good at chasing people down, team fights, and also kiting away from people. Her Q is what I like to start with in lane sometimes, but you could also start with her W, but I'll get into that in a second. Her Q is Boomerang Blade, and basically is the range on it. It's a pretty long range compared to her auto attack range, which is medium-ish. She's very punishable by like Zyra or ranged supports. But yeah, this Boomerang Blade, and this is what it looks like when you throw it. Pretty long range, you know. It's good for sniping people. It does about 50. It does like 50 damage on the way there, and then it does 50 damage on the way back. So it's important to hit it 2 times. So on the way there and on the way back. And that's how you get the maximum damage out of this spell. And it really does make a difference. So we're going to hit some minions, hit level 2. Get some CS. Use that Boomerang Blade. It's also used to push up the lane for a fast level 2. So she's really good at getting level 2. Let's need some more minions. 30 more for level 2. Uh-oh, I missed one. Okay. So, next spell. It's really situational what spells to take with Sivir. Levels 1 and 2. This is her W, Ricochet. Sivir's next free attacks to nearby targets, dealing 79 damage to the first target and 39 damage to each subsequent target. So it's really good for a little bit of range harass. Like if you're playing with a Blitzcrank Sivir lane, and they're hugging minions really hard, you might want to consider maxing the W for the Ricochet, just so the subsequent attacks actually reach them. So it's also used as an auto attack reset. So watch. 1, 2, and then this is an auto attack reset right here. 1 insta W, 2. So that's a little nifty trick with the W. And then the next spell you have is your Spell Shield. And basically what that means is the next incoming ability that comes to hit you, you could pretty much block it and negate the whole thing. So let's say Zyra is throwing her thorns at you, right? The thorns that trap you and root you. You could just stand in it and press E. And then if you do block it successfully, you get some mana back. Because this champion's pretty mana hungry. So maybe like maybe if you want like an Essence Reaver, maybe that's like an option. Depending on how the game's going. But usually if you just block enough spells, you never run out of mana. Personally, I like to max Q. But there are situations where you might want to max W. So yeah, once again, maxing spells, it's situational, personally to me, because it depends what you're laning with and what you're laning against. Like if people are hugging minions, then Q might not be as good as W. You might want to max the W first. But if you're playing against maybe like a Draven or something, who it's really easy to hit him with a skill shot, because when you're playing against a Draven, wherever his axes land, that's where you want to throw the skill shot, usually at max range. And if he chooses to pick it up, he gets punished. So that makes Sivir really good too. Probably Sivir's best spell is her ultimate. It is On the Hunt, and it gives a nice little passive. Sivir gains 30% attack speed while Ricochet is active, so that's pretty cool. And on top of it, the main spell, what it actually does is it speeds up your whole team. It speeds up your whole team. So your whole team just gets to go really, really fast. So you can force some engages on other teams, which is really nice. Let's say you got like an Amumu jungle. Sivir's really good with Amumu because it makes it so that Amumu won't always have to land his bandage toss, and instead you could just Sivir ult him into their whole team, and he could just press R, and then he could use his bandage after everybody's automatically AoE rooted for like 1.5, 2 seconds, however long it is. So yeah, we're just gonna farm up to get that spell really quick at level 6. And I will show you how fast you actually go. It's pretty sick. And it works for your whole team. So it's really cool. And it's not just you. Whoops. Okay. Start hitting these creeps. Also, if you hold spacebar, if you play with not lock camera, you can just hold spacebar to lock your camera during team fights if you want with your phone. That's what I do sometimes. It's a little helpful trick. Okay. So yeah, it's really good for going from lane to lane, catching people in the river. She gets move speed. She's going really fast. So yeah, that's the difference pretty much. That's the difference between not ulted and ulted. And it's really good. Also, generally, when you are using Boomerang Blade, let's say I'm playing against 2 different champions, right? Support, AD carry. Let's say this is the support and this is the AD carry, and I want to try and snipe the support. You want to look at the AD carry, and then you want to throw your boomerang the other way. I like to call that the fakey shove. It's like when it also works to fight champions like Blitzcrank and Fresh. Like you look at the person that you don't want to throw your skill shot and hit with. So if I want to hit the AD carry, then I'll look at the support. I'm standing over here. If I want to hit the support, I'll look at the AD carry, and then I'll throw a skill shot. And that could throw a lot of people off. Also, if you see that people are starting to realize you're fakey shoving, then just hit them straight up. Just hit them straight up, and just look at the person you are gonna throw the boomerang at, and then your boomerang will hit. You got to mix up your game a little bit. You know, it's all about those mind games. Sivir's really good at she can steal objectives over the wall, like Dragon and Baron, and buffs. She can steal buffs too. Like here, watch. Her boomerang blade could reach. You want to try and hit her max range though, so you get the insta proc, but that's okay. And yeah, that's pretty much the intro to Sivir. I'm going to give you guys a Sivir gameplay video, and I hope you learned something and enjoyed this video.